When we have our hair out, you say we can't have it out. When we have it in a scarf and we're decorating it, you get jealous and then you also steal the design. But we knew that because black women are always the blueprint. Okay! These people in these foreign countries are literally getting their head shaved for what, a fucking dollar to try to support their family so you can have a 40-inch bust down? You are not taking care of your natural hair, but you're spending so much money to cover up your natural hair when that money can just go towards you maintaining your natural hair to be confident. When you need to realize that beauty is literally confidence that comes from within. Stop trying to seek outside validation from other people when you just need to validate yourself. And then it frustrates me even more when successful black women have these businesses, then they sell it to these white monopolies who then go in and change the formula. Now all of a sudden, Miel, you have all these black women, their hair are coming out in clumps because they sat there and trusted your product, and then you decided to literally sell to this company so you didn't have to do it anymore, and now they're changing the formula and now the brand isn't as popular. Jumbo everyone, welcome back, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the natural hair debate and the hatred towards black hair. So without further ado, let's get started. I feel like I've made so many videos talking about black hair, blackness. If you haven't even just seen the 8 videos specifically, you know, I made a little bit more, but during Black History Month, I specifically made my whole channel focus on black videos only. So if you haven't seen that, I would highly recommend going and watching that series. And I also did one last year as well, where you can go watch that. And within the series of last year, I talked about, they're called locks, not dreads, and the history of black hair. If you really haven't seen that video, I would highly recommend going and watching that because it really delves deep into not only the history of hair, but also the Tinyong Law. And if you don't know what the Tinyong Law is, it is essentially a law where they made black women cover their hair up. And during that time, black women found ways to adapt and would decorate their scarves and still make them look presentable. What happened? White women got mad, of course. And so they were like, no, they can't do that anymore. So it's just like, so what do you want us to do? When we have our hair out, you say we can't have it out. When we have it in a scarf and we're decorating it, you get jealous and then you also steal the design. But we knew that because black women are always the blueprint. Okay!
It's not that deep, but 1 out of 3 black women will have traction alopecia in their lifetime. It's not that deep, but up to 45% of black women forego exercising because of their hair. It's not that deep, but as I speak, there are children in African countries being forced to shave their heads in order to go to school. And I know that because I was one of them. It's not that deep, but my ex cut his locks off because he was sick and tired of being profiled, and he lives in Nigeria. It's not that deep, but a biracial girl came onto this app in tears because her white mother is forcing her to take out her Marley locks because they look dirty, gross, and unkept. And her comment section is filled with black women taking her mom's side. It's not that deep, but there are black women whose doctors are begging them to put the creamy crack down because of their fibroids, and they're choosing relaxers over their lives because they were conditioned to believe that natural hair is hard to maintain. It's not that deep, but I saw a video on this app of a woman whose hairline was peeled raw from frontals, and in that video she was putting glue on her pink raw flesh so that she could install another lace front on an open wound. It's not that deep, but there are teenagers in r/natural hair crying out for help and advice because they want to wear their natural hair, the hair that grows out of their heads, but their mothers won't let them. It's not that deep, but a woman came and posted a video on Beyonce's green internet of her aggressively brushing her very young daughter's hair and said the words, "My daughter thinks she has good hair. Her hair looks like a Brillo pad." It's not that deep, but they had laws put in place that made it illegal for us to wear our hair, and we were forced to cover our hair before going outside so we wouldn't get arrested. And those laws have since been abolished and lifted, but the immense damage is lasting. To all the people saying, it's not that deep, why do you care, this is such a non-issue, I don't even understand why we're talking about this. I'm sure you don't understand a lot of things, but I would love to ask you, the changes we benefit from today, the rights, the liberties, the freedoms we have today, how do you think we got those? It started from people talking about these things. It is an important conversation. And no one is forcing you to partake in the conversation, but you don't have to be an enemy of progress either, because it is and always has been that deep. And suggesting otherwise is painfully ignorant. I am so grateful for the black people and the women, and the black women especially, that came before me, for not being afraid to have uncomfortable conversations, because if they all thought like this, we would have nothing right now. We didn't get to where we are because we waited for rights and freedoms to be handed to us. No, we fought to take them. We didn't wait for the world to change. we change the world. And I'm not asking you to change the world, but I am asking you to at least move out of the way.
Just personally me, to talk about my own natural hair journey. Just going back as a child, I loved my natural hair. Then my mother decided to perm it. She permed it in 7th grade. I absolutely hated it. I literally had such thick, natural, curly hair, and then she went and permed it, and I begged her not to. And she was like, this is a rite of passage. Girl, she permed my hair. Then the summer going into 8th grade, I cut all that shit off. I said, just cut it all off. I don't want anything to do with perm. I don't care how short my hair is, because hair is hair and it'll grow back. So I chopped off my hair in 8th grade, was very ugly in 8th grade with it growing and everything like that. But once I started getting towards, like, you know, summer, going into freshman year, I'm like, okay, I'm growing some hair. I put it up in a bun, you know, nothing so crazy. And then after letting it grow out for the next 5 years, once I was a freshman in college, that's when I decided that I wanted to start my traditional locks. I had my traditional lock for 4 years, or going on 4 years. Right before the 4-year mark, I combed them out, and then I switched to what I have now, is these micro locks, and I've had them for almost a year. You would think my hair will be just a little bit longer, but I'm just like, I'm still in the phase, y'all, where it's like, it's still growing out, still not as long, but it's also like shrinkage, because like when I grab my hair, like my hair is long. It's just the motherfucking shrinkage that I'm dealing with. So it's also like, with not being a part of either community, like the natural hair community, I feel like obviously this is still like natural, but we know like the lock community is like the lock community. Then you have like branches of it. You have like wigs, larger traditionals, medium, small, and then really small. Then you have micro locks, then sister locks, and then just, you know, any other type of lock. We do not include the white people dreadlocks of this community, because we call them dreads, and over here we call them locks. Thank you very much. But also with just saying like I'm not a part of the natural hair community, like the what do they call it, like loose hair or like free hair, whatever the fuck. And then also like the wig community, y'all. I tried the wig, it ain't for me, okay? To even think of spending $250 on one wig, then you still gotta pay for the install, you still gotta pay for plucking, bleaching the knots, all this other stuff. I'm like, whoa, I am in high school. This is costing me a pretty motherfucking penny. And also, why am I spending all this money on a wig when I already like my natural hair? Like, wigs have just never been for me. I tried a wig one time way back then, and I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. I'm not. I would rather like go out, get box braids, butterfly locks, like whatever the fuck you want to call them, different types of braids that are going to last me a month, versus a hairstyle that's gonna last me 2-3 days max.
You're saving up money, £200, to buy that curly Cambodian Burmese with 26 inches bust down ting. Yeah, saving up money to drop maybe $150 on a nice customized frontal installation. Customization, cornrows not even included, mind you. Let's talk about that on a separate TikTok. Customization, plucking, twisting, dropping, let's say nearly £300. When's the last time you dropped that money on a natural hair care routine? Do you know what Cream of Nature is? Design Essentials? Weeda? Walida? Poundland has argan oil products. Do you even know what that is? Do you even know what deep conditioner is? Do you know what the LCO method is? Do you know what lock is? Do you know what pre-pooing is? Do you know what co-washing is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what finger detangling is? Do you know what that is? But you know what spritz is. You know what black spray is. You know what ebon is. Bold hold. Ghost bond. Those are the languages you speak. Your hair is crying, begging you to care for her. You take the cornrows out. You brush through your hair. 6 months, the 6 months that you spent cultivating said natural hair, it breaks off when you run that fine tooth comb. Do you know what a wide tooth comb is? Do you know what a Deadman brush is? Do you know what that is? Am I speaking your language? I'm not. But I'm just saying this because I'm so poor. I can't afford
And for the women, I know that there's now methods to where you can maintain it to the point of being able to wear it past a week. Ew. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like so many people don't realize how spiritual your hair is. Like, and this is where, like, I talk about locks, even my locks before, like, combing that out and releasing all of that energy and, like, getting into a new version of myself, this version right here that I'm embodying right now. And it's just, like, seeing all the changes that have happened over time and being able to, like, also have my hair with me. I feel like when you're covering your hair with a wig, this is just my personal opinion, when you you only do wigs, you don't let your hair breathe. Like, I feel like sew-ins and like quick weaves are a little bit different just because like they're quick, they're not meant to be left in over a long period of time. So it's like, you know, you can switch back and forth, but just allowing your natural hair to breathe, I feel like is so important, because we don't talk about black women who have like traction alopecia and also the breakage around the edges because you keep manipulating it so much. That's why people are also like, I will never allow somebody to bully me into like doing my edges, because right now, like even with micro locks, like I'm not gonna say like I don't have edges. Like I do have edges, but like I'm not willing to like gel them down to just show y'all that I have edges. Like it bothers me so much. Like don't get me wrong, I do love the little swooping, you know, that's why like I always have my little antennas out because my forehead sometimes be on 10. At the same time though, it's just like I feel like I can never fall for the propaganda of hating natural black women. And I don't even want to say it like that, because don't get me wrong, I also made my other video about the price of being black in suburbia and like the myriad of black women and feeling like there's only black women are a monolith, we're all the same, we're all angry black women. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I'm a whimsy black girl, like please don't come for me because I have confidence and you don't. He liked my confidence and that's what you lack. Like, so stay away from me if you're insecure, because I simply can't handle it. And at the same time, like if you're gonna come over here hating on your natural hair while I'm over here, like please don't, because when people already try to talk negative in front of me, I'm like, nope, not in front of me. Don't even try it, because I hate people who talk negative about themselves, because it's just like, you don't need to do that. You know, you can just like change that and talk positive, right? Got it. But you know, not everybody has that like mindset and mentality, which is why I feel like it's so hard. Specifically, okay, when you think about it, when you go back to the root of the issue, you have a lot of these black children, these black girls who grow up into these black women hating their hair as a child, then growing up still hating their hair as an adult. And then now you have them having kids, and because they hate their hair themselves, now their daughters hate their hair. And now you see 12-year-olds wearing fucking bust downs to school, in middle school, yup. And you're just questioning like, why do you need a wig? Why are you in fucking middle school wearing a 30-inch bust down? Okay, yeah.
A lot of you guys wouldn't have such bad relationships with your natural hair if your mothers were competent. Why do 12-year-old black children have no hair? Why do 15-year-old black girls have no hair? Why are 16-year-old black girls wearing wigs? Because they don't have hair. What's going on? There's a YouTube video I watched, I'm gonna put a screenshot, but it said, you owe your black daughter's waist-length hair. And I 100% agree with it. You owe your black daughter's waist-length hair. There are so many resources for you to learn how to take care of type 4 hair that you owe them long, healthy, strong hair. And if you can't provide that, don't have kids. The fact that it's normalized for black children to wear wigs is how I know it's too far gone. Like, it's actually insane. When I was in secondary school or sixth form, I kept seeing younger and younger years wearing wigs. Why is a year 7 wearing a wig? Why doesn't a year 7 have hair? Where's her mother? Change of location, but yes, length isn't everything. But when every other girl is running around with long, healthy hair, and you're the only one that has dry, crispy hair that balls up to your scalp that you can't brush, you can't do anything with, you're gonna feel the type of way, and you're gonna build a lot of resentment towards your actual hair.
And then it's also like the debate where people are like, well, you're spending all this money on wigs and all this other stuff when you can be spending that money on your natural hair. Completely agree. Completely agree. Because wigs, they cost so much money. And then if you don't want to look like the same dirty, dusty bitch wearing the same wig over and over again, you gotta switch it up. You gotta keep going and buying different wigs. And then it's like, damn, your pockets are really starting to hurt at that point, because then you have to go get it like serviced and bleach the knots and pluck it and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is way too much maintenance for me. Like, as someone who's already like a high, low maintenance person, like, yes, I go get my hair done every 6 to 8 weeks, but I don't want to do shit to my hair. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll pay that premium to like not have to do shit, but like the premium y'all are paying, I'm like, oh my God. Like, and then on top of that, you have to think about, where are you getting this hair, this human hair that you're so praising? These people in these foreign countries are literally getting their head shaved for what, a fucking $1 to try to support their family so you can have a 40-inch bust down and be... Stop playing with me.
I really want to talk about the economic factor of this natural hair conversation. Hi, my name is Jax, and I just wrote a Substack article called Protective Styles Aren't Protecting You. They're protecting a $10 billion industry built on black women's self-hatred. They've socially engineered black hair to be seen as a burden by black people and then sold us solutions to take care of that problem. And the solutions are also killing us and other women around the world. Black women spend, on average, an estimated $7.5 billion on hair care products every single year. This is 9 times more than any other ethnic group. We represent 11% of the beauty spending market, despite only being around 14% of the population. This means we are outpacing our demographic and how much we spend on hair care and beauty products. What somebody with zero context would infer from that statistic is that black hair is inherently more difficult and more tough to deal with than anybody else's hair and requires a significant amount of money to deal with, which is not true. You and I know that's not true. So where's the gap coming from? Why do we spend so much? And when it comes to specifically hair extensions, we make up over 70% of global sales. 70% of global sales. 70% of the hair extensions sold in the world is being bought by black women. And where are we getting this hair from, might I ask? Because everybody wants raw human hair bundles. They're sourcing this hair from women in Cambodia and China and India unethically, paying them pennies, and then selling it to us for upwards of $2,000, and we're purchasing it. There are forced labor hair camps in China, making women shave their hair, process hair, and sell it to us. So those TikTok live videos, those people selling hair too, you're in the comments like, oh, how much? There's a 12-year-old girl whose head is being shaved and paid 25 cents for her hair so we can come here and do baddie on Saturday in the club. It is an illicit trade market where federal enforcement agents are seizing hair at customs checkpoints because it's that bad. There is a lot of harm going on in the world right now where black people are not the main perpetuators and not involved. But because of these statistics, over 70% of hair extensions in the world are purchased by black women. We are complicit. We are complicit in slavery because we hate ourselves. And is the money that we're spending on these products going back into our communities? Let me save you the research. They're not. You know what they're doing for us instead? They're even killing us. They're killing us. In 2023, a study that was done found that 100% of the braiding hair tested contained at least one carcinogenic ingredient. Using chemical hair straighteners makes you twice as likely to develop cancer. Not only that, the ingredients used in chemical hair straighteners is lye, which is also used in drain cleaner. And the whole concept of protective styles. Do you know that black women are disproportionately affected by traction alopecia? 1 in 3 black women have traction alopecia. And that's not because we are inherently predisposed to traction alopecia. That comes from specifically the protective styles that we convince ourselves in our head that we're doing to protect our hair when the receipts are showing that the hair is killing us, the actual style is killing us, and the hair that we're getting is killing other women. Do you see how at every stage the world is benefiting from us hating ourselves? They socially engineer us to hate ourselves. Okay, so then we buy the wigs. They profit off of that. The wigs ruin our hair. I didn't even mention. Oh my gosh, it just never stops. Coily natural hair products are on average more expensive than straight hair products. So when you damage your hair and you try to go purchase the products to fix the hair, check them, they got you. Now they're pricing our products higher because they know that we'll go and buy it, but they... Hey. And I'm not saying that every single woman that wears half wigs or extensions or protective styles hates themselves, because I do those things. What I'm asking you to consider is the ratio. The ratio in which you wear your hair and who benefits from you not wearing your hair. Because the research shows that we don't. Not health-wise, not psychological-wise, not economically. That's what I want black women to sit with. Not whether or not your choice to wear your hair is valid. I mean, it's your body, it's valid. But whether or not the discomfort that rises in you to cover it was your choice. Because if your choice was socially engineered to be your preference, then was it really ever your preference? My Substack article is posted on my page, and the link to subscribe to my Substack is in my bio.
Loving your hair comes from within. If you don't love your hair, you think all those stages that I just talked about, where I was a kid, got my hair permed, had to do a big chop, grew it out, you think through all of those stages, especially with even starting my traditional locks, combing them out to restart micros. I feel like if that doesn't show, I don't give a fuck what stage I'm in. My hair is gonna grow either way. And this is where I always say, I wish I started earlier. Could you imagine if I started micro locks back in like middle school after my big chop? Oh my God, I would have been unstoppable right now. My hair literally would have been down to my butt. That would have been like 10 years of growth. Oh, That's where I'm just like, it's okay, I'm not a cop. It's okay, because right now, you know, my hair is still growing. It's only a year, but that's where I'm saying, like, I'm glad that I made the decision to change my hair when I did last year, because I've already seen so much growth. But I'm also just like, I think back to my micro locks where it's like, oh my god, I would have been like 4.5 years in, my hair literally would have been like past my titties at that point, down my back, like Rapunzel in this bitch. But like, it got to a point where like my parts weren't clean anymore. There was so much lint. There was so much lint in my hair, like especially like the longer my hair got, the immense amount of lint. And like, you can't get lint out unless you're ready to comb your locks out, okay? So the lint, and then on top of that, I just wanted micro locks. Like, I saw the micro lock girlies and I'm just like, oh my god, like they're eating down. I want the same. So what are we gonna do to be able to have that? Yeah, so that's why I made the decision to comb my locks out. And I feel like people who aren't willing, sorry y'all, my forehead's on 10 right now and the lighting keeps changing. Y'all know we work with natural lighting, so please bear with me when you see me becoming extra light skinned during this video. But like, I feel like people who aren't willing to start over, restart something when they like don't like it the first time, like I feel like those are the people who stay complacent in things that they don't enjoy. If you're sitting here complaining about your hair, complaining that you hate your job, this and that, but you're not making any decisions to change your actions, shut the fuck up, because I don't want to hear it. If you're just gonna complain, not do anything about it, I don't care to hear it. I feel like a lot of people are missing the point when it comes to like the wig debate and stuff like that, because again, with a lot of black women having traction alopecia and also like the breakage of the edges from wearing bust down glue on your fucking scalp all day, all night, every single day, in and out, like, and then they wonder like, well, these celebrities are able to wear wigs all the time and their hair's still intact. Yes, Bookie, because they're not sleeping in those wigs. They have the teams that are able to put that wig on for a period of time and take that shit off as soon as the show is over. You think they're actually wearing that wig for days and days and days? No. And that's why I'd be saying like, that's how they're able to maintain their hair, because they still take care of their hair under their wig. That's why a lot of like other black women who are like natural are kind of coming towards the women with wigs, because it's like, you are not taking care of your natural hair, but you're spending so much money to cover up your natural hair when that money can just go towards you maintaining your natural hair to be confident. And I get it. If you have never been taught to love your natural hair, of course you're going to have these problems, but it all starts from within. That's why I say I love myself at every single stage, because at the core of who I am, I know who the fuck I am. If I were to shave my head tomorrow, I were to still love myself, because even though I'd be sad that my hair isn't there, I still know who the fuck I am at the end of the day. And that's where I'm like, you guys put so much like weight into actual beauty when you need to realize that beauty is literally confidence that comes from within. Stop trying to seek outside validation from other people when you just need to validate yourself. That's the issue. Who's gonna help these babies? When I see these 12-year-old girls wearing these wigs, talking about how much they hate doing their natural hair, they want a wig, they need to make sure it's human hair, they don't realize the ethicality, is that a word? They don't realize the ethicalness of the wigs and where it's coming from, the sources, all that other stuff. And that's where I'm just like, this is why people are talking about, more specifically with black women basically having 70% of the spending power in the hair care industry, because of how much our hair actually needs. It needs the mask, the deep conditioning, the conditioner, shampoo, the oils, all that other stuff, depending on your hair density. These white people can just wash their hair and go, and they're good. They don't need to add oil to their scalp, because that's how they have greasy hair, which is why they gotta wash their hair every 3 fucking days. But with black people, it's different, because how our hair is coiled and textured and everything of that sort, we're okay with going a month without washing our hairs, depending on the style. Also, like with me, I also said like, back then, call it what you want it. Like when I had my traditional locks, I didn't wash my hair for 2 months. As dirty as that sounds, call it dirty, call it whatever the fuck you want, it worked for me, because at that point I was letting my hair rest. This was literally my schedule. Every 3 months I would get my retwist. The first month I would wear the style for a whole month, because bitch, I'm getting my money's worth. The second month I would take the style down. Typically it would be like the 2-strand twist, so I would wear my hair curly for that month. And then after the 2 months is up, I would wash my hair going into the 3rd month, and then use that and wear the Rastafarian look or up until I get my hair done. Like I had a very like, you know, solid routine that I would do. But like with micro locks, obviously it's a lot different. But even like with children, you have to teach them how to wash their hair properly, condition, moisturize, detangle, take care of it, section it, all that stuff. Like I'm not saying I wasn't taught that stuff because I had it done for, you know, I have older siblings, so they would do everything for me. But basically what I'm trying to say is like, if you don't have these people either doing it for you, or like my natural hair, like specifically my sister, she would know how to braid like so well, do these really cool designs in my natural hair. I'd be like, yup, look at it, thank you. So I feel like with my sister knowing already how to do my hair from a very young age, I've always loved my natural hair, except when it started really growing and I was like, I do not want to do this shit no more. Lock me up, like literally like lock. See what I did there? And then it frustrates me even more when successful black women have these businesses, then they sell it to these white monopolies who then go in and change the formula. Now all of a sudden, meow, you have all these black women, their hair are coming out in clumps because they sat there and trusted your product, and then you decided to literally sell to this company so you didn't have to do it anymore, and now they're changing the formula and now the brand isn't as popular. Instead, you could have just kept the formula, kept the business as a whole, and literally scaled it so much to the point where you don't need these people's money. That's why, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't give a fuck how much you're offering me. I know what the fuck these oligarchies or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the people who own everything in the world, it's like 3 companies, boom, they own a branch of everything, branch. Like, that's how it works. No, it's coming from my brain, my products, everything of that sort, and I don't want your part in it. And then on top of all of that, even when you want to go get some boho box braids, all this other stuff, they literally have carcinogens in the hair. Like, so I'm just like, can we win? We can't. We actually can't win. And that's where I'm just like, it's like teeter-tottering. Do you get a synthetic wig or do you get a human hair wig? But then when you think of the like ethicalness of it, okay, not really, but then you're thinking of the price, but then also braiding hair, okay, cool, it's way cheaper, but also like the style lasts longer, but like it's sitting in your hair for a month longer, and then that can also add to the side effects. So it's like, we literally can't win. Black women can't win. Any product that they try to use, oh, all of a sudden a carcinogen's found in it. Oh, all of a sudden it's making your hair fall out. Oh my god, y'all don't want us to win. I think that's why I locked my hair. I said I'm just gonna micro lock it and just leave it, because a lot of the product that like you have to put in your hair, so expensive, a lot of people can't afford that. And at this point, I'd rather be able to afford my little 160 retie every 6-7 weeks than have to continuously go out and buy these products, wash my hair every 2 weeks. Like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do all that. This fucking sun, y'all, will be the death of me. At the end of the day, black women's hair are always going to be talked about, debated, punished just from being out. Why do you even think we have the Crown Act in the first place? And that's where I'm just saying, anybody is always going to have an opinion about what you do, so keep doing what you want to do, because people are going to talk about it no matter what, especially like when it comes to wigs, synthetic braids, blocks, wherever you are, whatever journey. I'm always going to pull people to the lock community, whether it's traditionals or even if it's micro locked. But what I will have to say to that is, it will teach you to love yourself. You have to literally wait till these bitches drop, and then that confidence will really come through. But bitch, I know I'm still a fine ass bitch, even with my hair short like this, because you can go on my Instagram and I'm still eating it motherfucking down. So please don't try to play with me like that, because like I said, confidence has to come from within. If you are okay with starting over, knowing that it's gonna be a little rough, you're gonna look a little rough in the beginning, but just imagine, like, that's why I be saying, like, I don't need to look good all the time. Like, I'm fine with being bummy sometimes, because when I'm bummy and then when you really see me step the fuck out, you're like, damn, Reese, she really can put it on. And I'm like, I be trying to tell y'all, but I don't be wanting to all the time, because, you know, got other things and better things to do. Other than that, there will be so many ways that people try to put black women down, and as many times as I will say it, black women will continue to be the blueprint until white women come along, try to steal it, make it their own. But we always know the blueprint is the blueprint. We can always go back to the original source. Spooky. So please don't try me. When it comes to your natural hair, stop giving a fuck about what other people think and what they're saying and everything of that sort, and oh, they said that. Who cares? Do what you want with your hair. At the same time, as a black woman, you know you love your hair long and how it grows, but genuinely, it doesn't matter about your hair. It matters about loving yourself from within. So if you can do that, your hair doesn't matter. Anyways, I think I have yapped long enough. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, y'all.